meet very eminent personalities from the IT world. And I thought, sir, we will take this opportunity to interact with you and understand from you and get your perspective on the changing, evolution of the business and the way devices are in your workspace. So if I may ask my first question to Sachin, if you could walk us through some of this transformation, evolution that that the industry is seeing, and share your views about it.
So, thanks, Rohit. Good morning, everyone. As far as transformation is concerned, I think we're seeing that transformation across businesses, across verticals. Within the businesses, that business transformation plays a very key role. One of the things that we as IT leaders have to keep in mind is when we're looking at that transformation, we're looking at that transformation across the value chain of the business, not only in silos, and tied at the end. So, for example, you start the journey in a manufacturing environment or a product company, like Havel in the FMEG business. You start your journey when you buy a raw material from your vendors or partners, and then manufacture the product out of it and so on, and then take it through the journey from manufacturing to supply chain to sales, which could be different, primary, secondary, tertiary sales, all the way to consumers, and then even post the sales, after sales support. So you have to look at the entire journey of the product or entire value chain and make sure whatever transformation you're doing, at the end of the day, it's satisfying your customers or the consumers that you're working towards. So that is the key position you have to look at. Whether you're looking at that transformation in terms of product, whether you're looking at that transformation from a process perspective or quality enhancement, or as simple as experience enhancement or growing that experience.
First of all, my apologies, Somnath Mukherjee, my apologies on getting your surname wrong. If I could have your views on that.
Yeah, adding on to what he just mentioned about the biggest thing on the transformation is what you just talked about is the customer centricity. So today, gone are the days when everything was working in silos. So now what he mentioned that from manufacturing to the end product getting rolled out into the sales side of it, to get that customer 360-degree view, so everything needs to be integrated, and that's where you see a lot of data coming in, lot of computing needs coming in. There is high security coming in, so a lot of emphasis being given into that. So the core essence lies on the customer centricity, and then moving that. I feel that's actually moving that transformation ahead. And coming back to your point on the evolution, when I look back few years back, that everybody was actually, or maybe 10 years back, everybody working in silo environment. Today we are actually, with the Internet of Things coming in, every device talking to each other, there is a lot of emphasis on data. And with the data, it's the security. 5 years back, when I had to look for desktop in my organization, I never looked into having anything like a TPM chipset, but now it has become more of an hygiene. So we have to have bit lockers and then things like that coming into play. So that's a significant evolution I see.
So with that, I have a question, Vijay, for you. Somnath mentioned about 5 years back and now. From your perspective, how do you see the evolution of the CIO and his partnership with the CXO or with the board? Can I get the mic start, please?
Okay, let me first add one point to what earlier guys said. See, customer centricity and everything was always at the center of organizations 20 years back, 50 years back, 100 years back. The way digital transformation is happening today is over the last 3, 4, 5 years, the amount of digital technologies that are available, amount of compute capacity that's available, amount of mobile phones that are available at the palms of each and every individual that entire thing has been brought to the forefront. And that's where it leads automatically to the second question, what you said. Now, earlier what used to happen, say 10 years back, 20 years back, IT departments used to propose a solution. That, okay, can the sales department do this? Can the production department do this? And the genesis of that could be either the department, IT department people see that something needs to be automated, or the local department people felt that, okay, this is what I need. Then over last 5-6 years, what happened was that from that it got into solution stage. Can we just see that for this kind of thing, can we give you a solution? Can we give push? But what has happened over the last 1-2 years is nearly everybody, each organization is fully aware of what digital technologies can bring to the table. What value can digital technology give to each organization, to each department, to each function, to each individual? And that has led to what I call as from a push which IT department used to do, that can you please take this solution, to number one pull, that people are asking for solutions. And second, from a CIO, CXO perspective, or even at lower levels, from an IT manager to the other business manager's perspective, earlier it was you are a provider, that person is a taker. Now you are co-creators of solution. So you actually sit with them, discuss with them as to what the business issue is, what my business objective is, what my strategy is, and if I have to do that, where does my other things and technology plays a role? And the solution which comes is an integrated solution rather than a piecemeal solution. That's how it has evolved.
Your views on this?
So, in addition to what we just said, I think it is the role of a CIO has changed, right? A role of a CIO before was, like Vijay was saying, a provider. Now it's become more of a business partner. So now a CIO is looked at as a person who has seat on the table, you're sitting with the senior management, you're discussing the strategy of the business, and you're also looking at how can you use technology to help the organization achieve their goals and visions, right? That's where the key difference is. That's where how it has changed. From a technology perspective, it used to be very difficult to talk about technology to a business leader. Right? Today, it has become very simplified. You can, I think, a marketing head or a CMO understands technology and its impact as much as I understand, right? So that conversation happens and it becomes easier. They're more, I don't want to use the word forgiving, but they're a little bit more forgiving today than they used to be 6 years, 10 years ago. On the flip side, IT has become, or we have to become very agile, right? Before, you would come back and say, it's going to take me 6 months to develop an application. Now that 6 months shrunk to 6 days, or if not 6 weeks, right? Depending on the application. So, it is very critical for you to start working with the business senior leaderships and help enable them to achieve their goals. Right? So IT has become an enabler. Scott and seat at the table because of that, and our role is more of supporting the business, walking with the business, rather than staying in the background and focusing on cost that used to happen.
So now if I may ask you the same.
Yeah, I will sum it up that as a CIO, basically one needs to wear that hat of an innovator. And as he just mentioned about that, we, and as a CIO, then we have to be a business enabler. So that's all I can say, because that's what we have to work with all of the functionals. We have to be enabler. And that's what we do every day in and out.
A few years back, I will not tell you how many years back, you will predict my age. The first time when I had a laptop, I proudly carried it and showed it off and displayed it all over. Because I think those days laptop was one of those perks that one could show off. How do you see that changing in today's, the so-called millennials walking in? Do you see any changes in trend, requirements? If I may ask that, starting from Somnath.
Yeah. So today's generations are the millennials, or X generation, Y generation. So everything they are looking at, they have to be smart, sleek, lightweight. So these are the buzzwords. So I think every now and then, like laptops have become a fashion statement or style icon for most of the young generations, and they would like to flaunt that the way they do the mobile devices. That's what I see a trend happening, the change. So gone are the days when we used to carry those bulky laptops home, but then that's the biggest transformation I see with the young generation here.
Vijay, your views on how has this requirement of laptop evolved in
See,
keeping
as you said, okay, without guessing your age, so as you rightly said that when all of us got our first laptop, we probably went home and showed it. It was kind of talk of house, if not the talk of the town, that this guy has graduated from a PC to a laptop. But if you see today, at homes, even a kid who is 2 years old, 1.5 years old would be proudly actually carrying a mobile phone or an iPad or any other such device. So now if you take back the same laptop and you tell your family that okay, you have a laptop, it's a big deal. Who cares? There are 7 lying over there, please put one over there, one more. And that's one. Secondly, what has happened is, so that was the age part, but if you go back 5 years or 6 years back, when you look on the laptop, chances were the laptop that you brought in was slightly better than the laptop that we had at home. But now it's just the other way around. Most of the enterprises, most of the organizations, the laptop that they give to employees, and the same employees having a laptop at home is much, much better. Because these guys, when they were students, kids, they were actually getting the best laptops, telling their parents that I want this. Now, which means that enterprises also need to evolve from that thick, old, black, maybe heavy laptops to thin, light, smart laptops. That is the change that is happening in the enterprises. That laptop, which used to be a utility device till some time back, is not just a plain utility device, but it is a kind of ornament that you carry, that you can flout that, okay, this is my laptop which has a touch screen, which has this, rather than, okay, I have a laptop. That's not a big deal these days. Second, if you look at each one of us is so comfortable on the touch screen. If you're on a laptop, most of the time you tend to just do this, because you're so attuned to doing this. So that becomes part of your life. And all the kids who are coming in, I won't say millennials, even kids 5-7 years old, they are so used to touch that maybe tomorrow they won't be in need of a keyboard. That's how the entire thing is evolving.
Sachin, your views on.
So, Rohit, I think laptop now is becoming a commodity, right? It's something that you have to have, and it's becoming more of a just like phone, becoming more of a fashion statement, right? So it is becoming more and more difficult to say this is the laptop you should have, right? It is more like this is the laptop we're going to get in, and you need to support it. With that, and both have goods and bads. With that comes a big security question that all of us beat our head against the wall on a daily basis. Right? You want to be able to provide tools and technology for users to be able to do what they want to do, for them to be productive, for them to be wanting to come to work and do what they need to do. Right? But we also wear CIO hats where you have to also look at the security. So it is to achieve that balance with the security where it's going and privacy issues where they're going becomes more and more difficult. You gave a great example of the privacy issue a few seconds on that slide, right? So as an enterprise, as an CIO, we want to do the best. We want to give the best of the tools or the sleekest of, like Somnath was saying, sleekest of the models. But we have to create a balance between what is secured versus what is going to be able to do what they need to do. And that's why a lot of times, like Vijay was saying, a user who's coming at home would have a better laptop or a sleeker laptop than they would at work, or that we're going to be able to provide them. And that's a balance. You also have to look at, will all the applications work on the laptop that you want to provide to them, right? So that's the trade-off we have to go with and do. So that's why, to Vijay's point, sometimes what we give them would not be as good as what they would get from home, but you have to maintain that balance. You have to let them do what they need to do, and also on the flip side, make sure your data and your IP and intellectual property is secured and it's at the right place where it needs to be.
Yeah, so if I summarize, we are talking about thin and light and the features comparable to what's at home. And I think security is of prime importance when it comes to the enterprise world.